Good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning.
You don't know.
Time to get up and move your body.
Your body, move your body, move your body. Don't hurt nobody. Get up, get up, get up.
First Guy Omaha Radio, First Guy Omaha in the morning.
In the morning.
Oh yeah.
That's funny. Everything will go. Everything will go, boss.
I think so. I was hoping, wishing.
Oh yeah.
There we go.
Suckers and jive turkeys.
That's right. That's right. Good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning. You're listening to First Guy Omaha Radio, a fresh edition of First Guy Omaha in the morning.
In the morning.
All Beeee, Buddi3 Da Gawd, all of you, chat chimers, ghost listeners, radio listeners. Thanks for joining us on this. What is this?
Monday. It's Monday. It's Monday.
Date wrong again. Doggone it. Yeah. Monday, February 5th.
No, you got the date right. Just the day is wrong.
I tell you what.
Almost there. That's okay. You woke up a little late. I give you a pass this morning.
It's one of them days, man. I'm discombobulated.
One of them days.
Mr. Bob Damalina discombobulated this morning.
Bob Dabalina.
Yeah. Monday, February 5th, 2024. Thanks for joining us.
There you go.
Man, yeah, one of those mornings. All right. Is it Monday? That's
it is, man. Got a case of the Mondays. Yeah, okay. Where's the fax machine?
It's going down.
It's going down.
That's what I feel like sometimes. Look at this equipment like one of y'all is going in the field.
Man. That's the beautiful thing about, Mondays.
Speaking of which, yes, just want to put out there that anytime that anybody needs to get a hold of us for any kind of stories or anything, best bet is to go to firstguyomaha@gmail.com if you have a direct email that you can send us. Otherwise, you can leave a message or leave the story, even better, on Friends of First Guy Omaha. Thanks for everybody who has been putting stuff in Friends of First Guy Omaha. That's the best bet. Love to hear from the community at all times. And that's the best way to get a hold of us. So shout out to everybody who is dropping articles in Friends of First Guy Omaha and questions, suggestions. The communication continues on Friends of when we're not live. But we are live here today. How you feeling, buddy?
I'm all right, man. I'm all right. Still on the tail end of this here cold.
Kids be dirty.
Kids be dirty, man. Kids be dirty. It was the whole family at one point in time, but now it's down to the littlest one. Baby girl is she got the bad cough, so been tending to her, if you will.
Man, okay, yeah. I'm sorry. I'm seeing that the radio is
not working.
I thought we was gonna get away with having no technical difficulties this morning, but it looks like yeah, let's see if we can get that fixed real quick. But in the meantime, I'm sorry to hear that. I thought little mama was the last one to get it.
Yeah, the littlest of mamas.
The littlest of mama, last one to get it. Okay.
Yeah. But we're working on it, getting the honey and the tea and all the home remedies, getting that together. Got her on the steamer, got the humidifier next to the bedside. We working on it, but just my heart, man. So small.
Yeah.
Got that big cough.
All right, yeah. Just I know you want to hug on her and everything, but don't.
Yeah. No, I gotta keep my distance. I was trying to take a nap yesterday. I woke up, she all in my face, coughing again. I'm like, back up. It's like a Sour Patch Kid.
Oh man.
Yeah, y'all remember the commercials? Cut your hair and then try to give you a hug. Pretty much.
Man. I seen everybody in the chat this morning. I really appreciate everybody getting up early with us, giving us the good mornings. Leia Keiser says, "Happy marvelous Monday to all."
Hey,
I'm telling you, man, I'm Bob Damalina today, though. I'll tell you
Dabalina.
what. Discombobulated Bobalina. Pop says, "Good Monday morning, First Guy." And as always, man, love from Las Vegas. Appreciate you, Pop. Tamika Johnson gives us some sunshine. Good morning. Gwen Easter says, "Good morning." Check your email. Thank you. Okay.
Yeah, thank you.
Wanda Lewis gives us a good morning. Appreciate that very much. Pop says, "Yeah, looking and sounding marvelous." Good,
Okay.
good. Glad to hear that. I think I got the radio channel back on too, so let's see if
Yeah.
that stays around. This,
Anybody catch Club 630? Let us know.
yeah, Club 630. Let us know. Appreciate that. Judy Prinzer says, "New day to go forth with courage and kindness."
Hey,
Nice,
I like that.
very nice, very nice. I like that. There's John Carter. John Carter says, "Top of the morning to you. Appreciate you very much." Again, firstsky@gmail.com. It'd be hit me there, and we can get you a link. We'll talk about that a little bit later. Kimber Snipes is up early. Says, "Good morning, y'all. Good morning to you."
Hey, good morning, sis.
Gwenny said, "It's going down. Thanks for sharing how to get in touch with y'all." Right on.
Man,
Always. Yeah, it's always
indeed.
there. So is the Facebook page and friends of always there. Mark Manner gives us a good morning. I like your rundown of the Grammys last night. That was pretty entertaining. I didn't get to see the Grammys, but I saw your posts. Got to give a
Man,
shout out to Killer Mike though with the sweep.
man,
Come
big shout out to Killer Mike. Also, shout out to my guy Renegade El Ray. He's a engineer behind it. Yeah, yeah.
on.
Grammy family. Yeah, shout out to the guys, man.
That's
Shout out
what's
to the
up.
guys.
I was happy to hear that, man, because Michael has been on heavy rotation here at the house.
Oh yeah, oh yeah.
It's been a long time since I put on an album, and just played it every day for a minute, and all that kind of stuff. You know what I'm saying? So
Man, actually, to
yeah,
the contrary, man, I was kind of thinking to myself, like last year was a pretty good year for music. Like last year's a couple good albums that came out last year. Michael came out with a good album, man. Terrace Martin has been working. I don't know if you heard that new album he got with Alex Isley, but
yeah.
man,
He's
yeah,
taking advantage of the moment for real, man. He outputting so much stuff. I mean, he lives in the studio. He you know what I'm saying? That's where his life is
man,
led. So he just be pumping it out. I'm still bumping the Christmas album that he put out. That ain't got nothing Christmassy about it. It's just a dope West Coasty album. It's real tight, man.
yeah,
Terrence
man,
Martin
yeah,
be
man.
working.
Yeah,
Terrence
man.
Martin be working.
Terrace is definitely dope. Apparently he performed. Mark
Yeah.
says Terrace performed on the premiere ceremony. Man,
Hmm.
yeah. That Alex Isley album is dope. Man. Also, rest in peace, Curly Martin. He got that 24th and Lake track. I don't know if you heard that, but yeah, man, it's beautiful,
Yeah,
beautiful,
we've been
beautiful.
bumping it. You can listen to it on Friends of First Sky Omaha.
Yes,
Not
sir.
Friends, firstsky.omaha.com. Hit the listen button. And especially on Sunday, we still do Black Classical Sundays.
Yeah, man.
And we play all of that stuff, including the new stuff. It's one thing that I got a beef with about some of the stations out here that play jazz. Quit playing the old dusty jazz all the time. Play some new stuff.
Some new. Come on, man.
Come on,
Come
what you
on,
doing?
man.
What
Some
you
new
doing?
hotness. Some new hotness out there. Speaking of Black Classical, also Yusuf Days dropped an album called Black Classical last year.
Yep, yep.
Dope album.
I thought that
Dope
was real
album.
dope.
Yeah, man.
And speaking of Black Classical, we're gonna be classy today here with this new
Oh
show
yeah.
that we got going
Pinkies.
on. We got a lot of special guests. Yeah, keep your pinky high for sure. We got a lot of special guests coming in today. As a matter of fact, we will be hearing from Brother Qasim today from the BAA. Also, Brother Senators Terrell McKinney and Justin Wayne will be on today. And it looks like we just might have another guest come on as well to speak about a pressing issue. So stay tuned. We got lots to talk about today for sure.
Yeah, man.
Fresh edition of First Sky Omaha Radio, First Sky Omaha in the morning.
In the morning.
All be Buddi3 Da Gawd. Here we go.
Man.
Once again, good morning, good morning, good morning. It is Monday, February 5th, 2024. You're now tuned into a fresh edition of First Sky Omaha in the morning.
In the morning.
Okay. Buddy got his Luther Vandross song.
A little
Buddy the
something.
guy.
Got my tea. Bedside.
Buddy the guy, that's him. Paul B, that's me. And then all of you, chat chimers, ghost listeners, radio listeners, thanks for joining us. We do have a packed show today, special guests,
Man.
and all kinds of things to talk about. I knew we was gonna get a little bit of talking about the Grammys last night for sure. Mark,
Yeah.
I know we need to talk about Wendy and Lisa and Annie Lennox all together. Number one,
Okay.
me and you need to really talk about that one. But also, it seems everybody was really touched by Tracy Chapman's performance last night as well. Like I said, I didn't get a chance to see it, man. I thought I was looking at it online. I was looking at the first part of the Grammys. I didn't get to
Mm.
see all the major performances.
Ah,
So
you was
yeah,
just watching the pregame. Thought you
yeah,
saw the real thing.
yeah. I thought I was sitting down to watch the real thing, man. And I got to go ahead and get one of them
Nah.
antennas on the TV so I can get channel 7, I guess.
Actually, I didn't watch it. I'm catching highlights. I'm catching
Yeah,
highlights.
that's kind of how we do things.
Yeah,
Uh,
yeah, yeah.
that pre-show was kind of strange. I was like, this don't seem like the regular Grammys. I don't know what's going on here. And yeah,
Mhm.
sure enough,
Because
Mark
it
Manners
wasn't.
says, say again.
Because it wasn't.
Right. Mark Manners says the kids in my store play that Yusef Days all the time. That's what's up.
Yeah, it's new hotness, man.
Love that. Love that. We got Mayor Sanchez in the chat a little earlier. Says when I was a kid, I got sick. My mom gave me the belt. I wasn't sick no more. She gave you a bowl of that hot belt.
Man.
Man. Mark Manners says Annie was amazing, but Tracy Chapman stole the night. Okay, that's what's up,
Okay.
man. Miss Erica Felt is in the chat. Good morning. Says y'all taught me that term, and it only makes perfect sense. One of my play school kids told their dad he likes black classical music. His dad was confused at first. Then I explained. Now Coltrane is that. Thank you.
Man. That's what it's about.
Yeah,
Teaching the babies.
that's what it's about. I'm glad you mentioned it. We say it so often now we forget that a lot of people don't know what we're talking about. Jazz is a term that got made up, and basically we're uplifting, early jazz, late jazz, especially early jazz. We're talking about classic jazz, especially.
Mm-hmm.
It's our black classical music. If it's just like you got Beethoven and so on and so forth, you got John Coltrane. So shout out to Miss Erica Felt teaching that to the families and the babies. And yeah, that's what we call it, black classical music. And it's interesting that term kind of felt like you made it up when it came up, and then you're looking around and Curly Martin everybody is recognizing what this actually is. So I got to go do some research to find out who actually came up with the phrase.
Man,
But yeah, it makes sense. Makes sense.
that's what it is.
Definitely what it is, and probably need to come up with a new genre for what we got now, man. This mix of this new jazz that's happening.
You think so?
Yeah, it's got too much of a hip hop influence to not to just be categorized as jazz, because especially in the Midwest, think about what people think of as jazz here.
I mean, but what influenced hip hop?
Yeah, it's true, but something that Wynton Marsalis is going to play is going to sound different than something Terrence Martin is going to play. So
True.
there's a difference, and
Yeah.
I only briefly listened to that who was the jazz artist we were just talking about?
Yusef?
Yeah, I just briefly listened to that, but I feel like there's a difference going on when
Yeah, it is.
I'm trying to curate what's going on Sundays, Black Classical Sundays on the radio channel. I'm definitely feeling like I categorize things differently for sure. So Mark Manor is the record store man, so maybe we should ask him. He said yesterday they had the first alternative jazz category. Yeah, I thought that was interesting.
Yeah, and so is that what they're calling the whole Terrace and Kamasi wave, or is that something else?
I don't think so. I think there's something else. Michelle and DeGacello won that one.
Okay.
Yeah, man.
I saw Simera Joy won. What category was that?
Yeah. I forget what category it was. Yeah, you talking about the version of the Grammys I watched. So I'm trying to remember.
Okay.
Yeah, the information. Yeah, like I said, all the big performances. I kind of missed the big performances. Got to see them in highlights. So yeah, it could be. Pop says it could be neo jazz. Yeah, I've been calling it neo jazz on the station when I package up whatever Terrace is doing and those guys. So yeah, man. Mark Manor says the best jazz performance was Samara.
Okay.
Okay, not familiar. So
Simera Joy, man, check her out, man. Beautiful, classic voice.
Oh,
Classic voice.
I know you talking about. Yeah, I know you talking about.
Young
Yeah.
girl, but yeah, man, beautiful voice. If
Yeah,
y'all don't know any of this music we talking about, go ahead, get your life and go ahead and just check it out.
Yeah, for sure. Okay, well, we're gonna go ahead and get this show on the road. Like I said, we got special guests coming on in. We could take this is something that I talk about all the time. Like we try to stick to news that's relevant. It's tough to do for us because we're artists. So it's almost like we need to team up with Mark Manor and have a collaboration between First Guy Omaha and Homer's
That'd be
and
dope.
the Buzz and do the Black Buzz and do the discussion the Grammys discussion and stuff like that. Putting it in your ear, Mark. Putting it in your ear real quick.
That'd be
Uh,
dope.
Pop says I've been a Michelle fan since Plantation Lullabies. That's right, man.
Okay.
When
Okay.
Michelle and Degacello won, I was hyped. She been deserving that.
Yeah,
She's a
definitely.
legend.
Man, dope, dope, dope. Also, while we're talking about it, man, bringing it back home, we have our own award show coming up. You know,
Mm,
you like what I did there. The OEAA's right around the corner.
very
They
nice.
actually have a few showcases going on around the city, showcasing the artists, performing artists, visual artists, painters. Yeah, it's going down, man. So big shout out to our own, our own situation with the OEAA's, man. We gotta definitely celebrate our artists because there's definitely a plenty of talented artists in the Omaha area as well.
Yep, yep. It's a very important thing to stimulate art. Terrace Martin actually taught me a lot about what the Grammys is all about and how many programs they got in LA for
Man,
schools and how many kids get taught through Grammy programs and how much music gets archived and saved because of the Grammys. So the Grammys is more than just an award show. It's definitely a situation where it's preserving the preserving and celebrating music, and that's
yeah,
what
man.
OEAAs is all about too, man. OEAAs when you are a winner or even nominated in OEAAs, you're putting it put down on a record that tells the story of what's going on in Omaha arts. So I'm all about it actually, and I need to quit missing the board meetings, but I'm all about it. So so we're gonna do our best to keep on promoting. Get your tickets. It's definitely going down. OEAAs is happening on the 18th at the Holland. Get your tickets and get down there, man. It's a good time to dress up and go down to the Holland and be fancy for a little for a
Man,
night.
it's gonna be an affair, y'all. Get fancy.
Yeah, man.
Pinkies up.
Put your pinky high to the sky. It's going down. Thanks for joining us once again. Let's go run down a few things that we're going to probably not have time to get to because of all these guests, but we do have to make some mention of some things that's been going on here. And yeah, man. Yeah. So anyway, let's go ahead and run down that real quick though. Sean McCarthy in the chat. Michelle and Degacello's album was my album of the year last year. The Omnicord Real Book. Such an amazing work. Man,
Beautiful.
thanks,
Beautiful.
McCarthy. Yes, man. Yeah, lots of good music out there. If you really
Yeah, man.
if you don't want it spoon fed to you, if you want to go
Yeah,
find
man.
it,
It's out there. It's out there. Looking for souls.
there you
But yeah,
go.
man. So definitely a big shout out to everybody who participated in that conversation. We appreciate you. We love you. We thank you as always. Let your mind be free. Let your voice be heard. We do have some news to get into. And I hate to kind of switch gears, but definitely want to send condolences out to the young men and the family of the young men that lost their lives over the weekend. Apparently, there were two individuals who were shot by off-duty police officers in Omaha. 26-year-old Fernando Rodriguez Juarez and 28-year-old Jonathan Hernandez Rosales. Both again were sent to the hospital or taken to the hospital after an altercation with two off-duty police officers, and they were later again found deceased at the hospital. So again, condolences to the families, man. And maybe we'll get into this a little later on. Definitely love to hear your thoughts on it. As always, let your mind be free, let your voice be heard. Please chime into the chat again. Let us know what's going on in your mind with that situation. But also happening in other news across the state. And it's very interesting. We're still continuing our conversation about what's going on in Nebraska's prisons. And now there's a new report coming out of the Journal Star, the Lincoln Journal Star, as reporting that Nebraska legislature is being blamed for the state's overcrowded prisons. Again, today is Monday, so we will have the senators on a little later on. I would definitely love to hear what they have to say about this situation. Again, Nebraska is one of the most, if not the most, overcrowded prison system in the country and has been in a federal overcrowding emergency for several years, not to mention severe understaffing with the again guards inside. So very dangerous mixture going on. Again, we'll love to hear what the senators have to say. Also, in other news, definitely have to talk about what's going on with the water situation. Again, we talk about Flint. Everybody's thinking about Flint. But what's going on in Grand Island? Apparently, millions of gallons of sludge was released from a packing plant. And now county commissioners say that they learned about the news watching the news. Again, they have not heard about it from other agencies, and experts say that drinking water is likely safe with the spill, but that's just one hazard homeowners should be aware of. So again, we talk about nitrates, and now this again, is the drinking water really that safe here in Nebraska? So, oh yeah, we'll definitely be talking about that. Also, speaking of safe, Big shout out to the chat chimer sending us information. Apparently, infestation, bed bugs, roaches, still the situation, and still the situation in a few of the towers around the community. So again, nobody should be living like that. We'll definitely be talking about that and more. As always, if there's anything happening in your hearts and minds, feel free to drop that into the chat as well. But again, a lot of news happening. And big shout out to all of our chat chimers. We call them our co-hosts for keeping us on top of what's going on with these situations.
Yep, and also don't forget we do have special guests coming on. Brother Qasim will be on shortly, talking about what's going on with the BAA and Black Power conference that we got coming up. And then also we have Brother Senators Terrell McKinney and Justin Wayne coming through as well. And we might have a special guest here at the end too. It's kind of breaking news stuff going on. I
Yeah.
still haven't gotten any emails about that. I'm keeping my eye on it so we can make sure that we make that happen. But once again, thanks for everybody who's joining us. And 7:21 right now, if you believe in the concept of time. We got about 10 minutes before we have our first guest, so just want to jump in real quick and say what's up to Brother Anthony Rogers Wright. He says, speaking of
Hey.
music, good morning from Motown, my brothers. Appreciate you,
Okay.
bro. You out there with a presidential candidate, Dr. Cornel West? Because I
Man,
know
got
he's
my
having a
hoodie
good
on
time.
today.
He's in. I know he's having a good time if he's in Motown for sure. So that's what's up. Appreciate you. Tony Johnson said, interesting how the names of the victims shot always comes out way before the names of the officers involved. Do
Man.
the names ever come out of the officers involved?
Right, that part.
Really?
And they are on paid leave, if you're wondering. Vacation, as we
Paid
call
vacation. Michelle Moreno gives us a good morning, everyone. Good morning to you as well. We don't know the details of the shooting, of course,
it. Right.
quite yet. And of course, it's interesting. We every time these kinds of things happen, I think the only place we gonna get the information is from the police department. So kind of need a little independent information there, I would think. But yeah, we don't usually talk about this kind of news, but I think it's important to acknowledge what happened. It's also important to put on our minds the whole idea of off duty
Yeah,
policing.
man. Yeah. Again, I caught this story basically when Channel 7 reported it when it broke on Saturday evening, right after the Lakers and the Knicks game. And yeah,
Like,
that was definitely my thought, man. At first, who were the victims? What was the situation? And then, off duty, this is like what now the second or third um off duty shooting, off duty. And if you remember, there was a situation right off of Maple where the
mhm.
where the young brother got shot. He is still alive, thankfully. Unfortunately, that was not the situation with these two young men. But again, yeah, it's just as I was looking at the report. Of course, it's just the police saying what's happening, so you don't really have any independent or third party community type of situations which we have been talking about. Um,
Right.
but then again, it's like it's real convenient that these guys were off duty. There's no body cam.
Yeah.
We
So
just gotta kind of have to take their word for it. It's very interesting. And then how do if you're off duty, how do you keep getting wrapped up into like there's no on duty officers in the area that can do like they're supposed to be the ones on duty. How do these off duty officers keep ending up in these situations? And you kind your mind kind of wonders. But again, who's policing the police? Who is really speaking and representing on behalf of the people? These questions always come up when you see a police involved shooting.
very true. Very true. Give us your thoughts. We'd love to hear them right here on the live and also on Friends of First Sky Omaha, where we continue the conversation when we're not in on live. So tell a friend, tell a friend. Share the show today. Share the show on Facebook and YouTube, if you will. And yeah, definitely like to hear from the public about what you feel about these situations as we keep learning about it, because like I said, limited information, and we have to kind of go in and keep on searching out what's really happening, what the truth is, and so on and so forth. So yeah, pretty troubling, like Judy Prince was saying for sure. Also, Miss Erica Felder says they were in a closed vehicle, so I don't understand the need for deadly force. Like I said, we don't know the story yet. We don't know what
Right.
happened. They did find a handgun inside the car later.
Yep. Yep.
So limited information, and shout out to the Channel 7. I guess it's KETV that picked up the story. So
Yep.
they're doing the best they can over there as well with their finding out. Like I said, as reporters, the first people we're gonna get the story from is the police department. So like that's and of course they're gonna let out whatever information they think they should be letting out while an investigation is going on and so on and so forth, which is usually limited. So interesting. Maggie Miller Jenkins, good morning, says, I wonder how there is body cam footage from off duty officers, as in two like regular team. So many fishy things with the Omaha oppressive forces.
Hmm.
Hear that. Jahi Shabazz in the chat. Good morning. Says, I have not heard from you, brother. Yet. Yep, not yet. We will be in contact though soon. We'd love to have you on the show. So we'll be in contact very soon on that. Yeah, again, love to hear from what you have to say about this. We right now it's just so early in the game right now as far as finding out about exactly the details that's happened here. It's kind of makes me nervous, man. From what I understand,
Hmm.
they were leaving a club or something. They were kind of out and about, and how you end up dead by the hands of off duty police.
Yeah, well, according to the story, the officers were in the area doing security, working, some off duty
Right.
detail, and they saw there's an incident where the young men had a gun, and apparently the officers intervened. One thing led to another, and now here we are. Um, yeah, it's just really troubling. Anytime you hear somebody losing their life at the hands of police, you always wonder: is there a way to de-escalate situations? Is there a way for everybody to go home? Or at least to see the next day. That would be the hope. So
Well,
more details will come out, but again, there's no real independent or other body to really investigate this type of stuff. So we keep making the point. All we have at this point, and probably will ever have, is the side of the police.
Well, a good person to talk to about whether or not you can de-escalate a thing in security is our next guest, our special guest, that's
Man,
actually waiting in the wings. We're gonna go ahead and bring him on right now, and maybe we can start the discussion there. So, ladies and
yeah.
gentlemen, brother Qasim from the Black Agenda Alliance, the BAA, in the chat. Good morning, my brother. How you doing?
What's happening? How y'all doing, man? Peace,
Doing
peace.
good. Can you
Peace,
hear us?
peace, peace.
Yeah, I can hear you. It just seemed like it was lagging. I don't know if it's lagging on my end, but yeah.
It's
That
kind
might
of
be us.
internet's lagging all over the place right now.
Yeah,
We all
yeah.
three of us are lagging probably. So
Okay. Okay.
appreciate you
Okay.
coming on today, man.
Yes, sir.
You,
Appreciate you
you
guys.
got your lumberjack on this morning. I see. That's what's up.
That's just how I feel today, man. That's just how I feel today.
Like
Okay, okay, chopping them
chopping trees.
down, chopping them down.
Yes, sir.
I don't know if you heard the discussion we were having beforehand, though, but we were just talking about this shooting that just happened, and apparently these off duty police officers were working as security, and you are to us you
Yeah,
were the
I call
person who is the expert on security. Yeah, we are lagging. Looks like we're lagging a little bit, but if you can hear us, yeah, you are the expert on security, and you've been in several situations that got escalated, and several situations that you de-escalated. Tactics in de-escalation and so on and so forth. I know that we have limited information about what happened in this instance,
Hmm.
but just in general, tell us a little bit about how security should be working in situations like that, or do you feel like do you have enough information to feel like this was justified, that this shooting happened, incident happened? If you have any information about it at all, or just let us know in general, like how things should be rolling with the
Yeah.
security.
Well, first of all, let me say that security, good season security is all about de-escalation. So we would do everything that we're supposed to do in our power to make sure that nothing transpired. Myself and many of my comrades, we carry openly. We have all of our licenses, our permits. We train regularly. Um, so good about de-escalating. This particular situation that you all are speaking on, I so happened to run into it maybe a few hours after it taking place. It was at the Quick Trip
Mm.
over in South Omaha, and I was getting some stuff out of there before I go to the gym. And it was shoot, man, it had to been about 4 in the morning, and the crime scene was still going on. And the
Mm,
way that it looked, yeah, I seen as the forensics and everybody was over there. And
wow.
if I'm not mistaken, it looked like it was an unmarked vehicle, as if it was just a regular civilian parked on the street that had got out. and then there was a black truck parked in the alley like it had hit a pole, and all four doors were open as if people had got out and fled. So the
Mm,
thing is that quite naturally, if you're dealing with police officers that are off duty, then they're not marked. So
mm,
it looks as if they could be an enemy or a rival or whatever the case may be. Um, I don't know, man. It's one of them things to where, and then I'm hearing that there's limited body cam
Mm-hmm.
footage, if any at all. It sounded like some training day stuff to me, man. The way it looked,
mm.
when I was over there, it just looked like it was a bad situation. Um, so as far as when it comes to the police, I think everybody kind of know how I feel about the police. I'm not against um, per se the judicial system, but I am against individuals patrolling communities that they don't belong from, which in most instances are Europeans in either the
Mm-hmm.
black neighborhoods or the Latino neighborhoods. I'm totally against that in particular because of the way that they're raised historically. They're only really taught one thing about both the blacks and the Mexicans, and then they come down here with this superior mindset, and really they're afraid, and they would not come down here into these trenches for any other reasons than to patrol them, or just have a good time, being overseers,
Mm,
carrying on their ancestors' legacies.
mm. Yeah, feeling the
Yeah.
same way. Yeah, appreciate them words. Definitely thinking about how the precarious situation of just being off duty. There's a question of whether or not they had identified themselves as police officers at the time.
Always. Always.
And if they're off duty and they're not, they were in plain clothes or whatever, then even if they say that, do you believe it? There's just a lot to it, and I worked in security myself in California for about 13 years, and I absolutely understand that people gotta recognize who you are and what this is about, um, because you might just end up looking like any random person on the street starting some mess, and
Mm-hmm.
then your protector, then that person's protector mode kicks in as well, and it just escalates. So you're right. De-escalation got to be number one. And then, like I said, I wanted to talk about this because I wanted to bring up this idea of off-duty police officers as security. I've never really wanted that in any of the events that I've been putting on in my life over the
Mm.
past 25
Mm.
years. I always brought in people, trained them on hospitality and a bunch of different things, and to add to their security skills because I wanted a certain vibe at my events. I did
Man.
not want the vibe of an off-duty police officer standing there overseeing like you talking about. I want somebody to stand there, know that people know, that you don't start no mess, but the people that are standing there also respect you as well. So,
Man, that
I, mhm.
I'm sorry. It's just very synchronous that we having this conversation. It's very interesting. I was watching the Drink Champs episode with Grandmaster Flash.
Mm,
If you haven't seen the episode, go watch it. Dope episode. Especially as we still continue to celebrate 50 years of hip hop. And during the conversation, it came to a point where Grandmaster Flash was explaining what was going on in the community when hip hop was created, and there were a lot of it was a lot of gang activity. And he was kind of explaining why certain DJs didn't go to certain neighborhoods because it could pop off at any moment. But Africa Bambaataa, one of the DJs, his claim to fame was he brought all the gangs together, and the gangs then worked as security for the park jams that basically led to the creation of what we know now as hip hop. So I say that, as we speak it to a brother who is converted and doing that very thing, used to run the streets. He's, brother, you've been very vocal about the transformation, and it's beautiful to see that. What are your thoughts about that as far as, all this energy that we have, all these young folk that we have, rather than brothers getting gunned down? Maybe they could have been running security at the event rather than being in the, what I'm saying, being in the alley. What are your thoughts about that?
Well, you're absolutely on point, and that's something that I may have touched on a while back You know, when we do a lot of these venues like the after hours, and I've done all of the most ruthless clubs in the city, my relationship to the individuals from the streets is usually the reason I get home at night. And I'm standing out there with a whole vet, see brothers that I know, and they see me, and it's like, you know, if something goes down, or watch my, you know, that definitely plays out like that, and that's very true. You know, that has been my past, and my claim to fame is that the moment I start seeing a bunch of the street cats that I know and recognize, the whole dynamic changes. You know, a lot of people have made it home at night due to those particular relationships. And then in regards to Brother Paul speaking on having an off-duty versus a visible police officer in uniform, I do not allow off-duty police officers to help us secure venues. If you're going to be a police officer, you must be in uniform, because 9 times out of 10, they have not established a relationship with the community. And the only thing that they're there for is visible presence in regard to an extensive act of law. But other than that, yeah, I don't allow off-duty police officers, if they want to do security, which we've done security with plenty of cops. Yeah, you cannot come and side with me without your uniform on. Causes too many problems and confusion.
Yeah. Appreciate you giving some words on this, man. We feel like you are a resident expert when it comes to security. To me, you're the perfect example of security, because you have a past that you draw from, and so number one, you kind of know what's going on around. You know what's getting ready to pop off when it does. The fact that you were doing what you was doing before, and you changed up and decided to change the way that you approach life in general, and then decided to become a security person who now takes care of folks that might have been in the crossfire back in the day. It's kind of perfect situation to me. It's kind of like nobody knows the community and knows the streets and knows what's going to pop off better than a brother like you. And I'm very happy that you have a security company that you train other brothers to be that kind of security. So I appreciate that very much. I want to jump into the chat real quick before we switch gears. Maggie Miller Jenkins in the chat says, very Kenneth from 2020 vibes.
Man,
strikes me as crazy that Omaha oppressive forces murder so many people every year and there is no accountability. Why report to an officer that an officer oppressed you? We have to imagine new ways of handling accountability. For real. Miss Erica Pell says, I'm still not comfy with the incident that occurred on 108th with the plainclothes off-duty officer. I don't remember that one. You have to remind me about that one. Amy
that's
H.
the Maple situation. Maple Street situation. Young brother that got into they're supposed to be a domestic altercation with his girlfriend, and then he ended up getting shot.
Yeah. That's right. Yep. That just happened too, man. Thanks for reminding me about that. Amy H. in the chat says, good morning. Good morning to you. She says, Qasim knows I tried to get the BAA to do security for PR Fest. That's that Puerto Rican fest that we had that was so fun last year. And the police convinced the restaurant owner that she had to use an off-duty police for her liquor license. Woo, lie. Straight up lie.
Man.
Trying
to get that check.
Man, she says, and then they only could be paid cash.
That's right.
Isn't that shady?
Under the table.
Brother Shabazz, Shabazz says, when you bring in outside people that have no connection to the community, they can objectively kill and harm.
Man.
Ain't lying. Kimmer says, and then they use their power to create laws to help our community that they care about so much, like LB 620. Kimmer be hot at 620, boy.
Man.
Man, if you remember what LB 620 is, it's the law that they're trying to make it okay for you to charge 12-year-olds.
Yep, with a felony and detain 9-year-olds.
Right. So yeah, that's what they're doing. That's the laws they're trying to make to protect us. Kimmer says, and then they use their power to create. Yeah, she already said that. Also, she says, as Miss Erica Fell says, as someone who used to be involved in live shows back in the day, I truly appreciate your approach to security.
Man,
my my approach to security, I got introduced to it myself through crowd control, which is different from security. So
Right.
it's us helping people along where they got to go and doing what they got to do, being more helpful than it is securing the premises. We did have security guards. I did move into security guard ship later, which was a different kind of situation because now you have to be clearly marked so that people know who you are and know and you have to establish who you are, what you're going to do in a situation, and so on and so forth. It's very different, but it is coming from the approach of being able to try to help people have a good time at a party is something different. You know what I'm saying? Then a
Mm-hmm.
lot of times that's what I get when I go somewhere and I see Brother Qasim standing there. I know two things: we're gonna be able to have all the good time we want to have without tripping, and if something pops off, he got it. That's how security's supposed to make you feel when you're out trying to do your thing. That you don't want to go. I don't want to go nowhere where I feel like I got to watch out for the cops, and then I got to watch
Man,
out for the internal cops too. You know what I'm
man.
saying? Like, who want to do that? Man, Gwen Easter says you're so right. White they officers. Uh, no, yeah, you messing up there. She says many have already formed an opinion about North Omaha. Right. Also, I was told by a black police officer that some black officers don't want to patrol North Omaha, and that is why you don't see many and get more white officers.
Mm.
Probably a bunch of different reasons why. Tamika Renee in the chat says, before I draw a conclusion, I'm waiting on more info. I have sources from the Latino community that situation stemmed from the club there, and there was a shooting into the crowd that the off-duty officers witnessed and tried to suppress. There's a war that's been brewing over South since last fall. There's no resources to interrupt. This is coming from the Latino community.
Man, thank you, Sister Tamika.
Yeah, appreciate
Thank you.
it. We have to search out our own information on this situation because all we're gonna get the story from is the police right now. So
Man.
appreciate that. There's a lot of discussion going on. I'm not gonna read it all. Appreciate that very much. I'll go back to Brother Jahid though. Jahid Shabazz says Biden regime is bringing in illegals to produce a malleable, compliant new minority,
Mm.
giving them money and recruiting them as a national police force like brown shirts that Hitler used for German population. Woo.
Mm.
Going deep on it. Going deep
Man.
on it.
Man. Woo.
Yeah. Thanks for your input there. Really appreciate everybody who's jumping in the chat. I would suggest that if you miss any parts of this discussion, go back and check it out and check out the chats in YouTube and Facebook. We definitely want to shift gears because the brother is we just kind of commandeered him on some advice about about security
Security.
guarding,
Mhm.
but really he's here to talk about some other things that's going down, namely this event that's coming up right now, this Black Power Conference that's happening on the 17th and 18th. Definitely mark your calendars for this. That's going down, and we're going to be a part of it as well. So we can't wait for this to happen. But Black Power Conference happening on the 17th, Restoring the Black Family happening on the 18th. Brother, how's things rolling with this event? Tell me, give me some updates.
It's looking real good, man. Of creating a new flyer, so there will be another flyer that will drop with
Okay.
updates. It's looking good, man. It's looking sweet right now. We have the particular conference is the beginning of many more things to come. You know, even the collaboration in itself with the Black Agenda Alliance, Untamed, and the Malcolm X Foundation. You
Nice.
know, so that's the deal there, man. We'll have the political panel dealing with the political thing. We'll have, like I told you, brothers, before, we're trying to get away from the terminology activists and go wellness with it in regards to the
Mm-hmm.
terminology.
Mm-hmm.
So you'll have myself and Sherman and Lamont Gilchrist and Sister Nika. You'll have us on that panel, and then you'll have the Black media panel, so that we can begin to mobilize the media outlets, so that we can go on ahead and start pushing a more collaborative message out to our own people. We just set up and discussed the importance of that the other day. Yourself, Brother Paul and Jakeen, and the importance of us telling our own story. There's nothing that comes close to that, man. And we'll have CHP, CCW training. We'll have voter registration, credit repair, life insurance, health insurance. We'll have sign up for our Black youth programming for the spring and summer
Beautiful.
A mother's love would be there. A father's love would be there. It's a beautiful thing. It's looking real good right now, man. And then the day after, which is the 18th, the conversation that's being had, the least, if at all, is the restoring of the Black family, headed up by Brother Sherman Wells and Brother Terry Muhammad. So again, this is us trying to prepare this thing to go a whole nother route come June, come Black August, come Kwanzaa, keeping the moment, getting the momentum and keeping the momentum. We do have Dr. Umar coming back in June. You know, something
Nice.
else right now. I'm not going to speak too much on it yet because I want to make sure that it crosses wires the right way. But this next thing is going to blow the city up.
Man, beautiful.
Can't wait.
Beautiful. Yeah, man. Are there any rooms for any businesses interested in still vending? Do you have any vendor spots open, or is it kind of filled up?
It's kind of filled up. We're going to have another meeting and deal with it, and it's looking full, man. If we do, we might have one, maybe two, but I don't quote me on that. There will be a new flyer out. We'll probably end up putting 2 more flyers out before the actual event updated and stuff. We're trying to involve. The thing is, man, is these are just some of the working close with. You know what I mean? Over time, and we don't ever want to leave anybody out that's good and resourceful to the community. But we have to, we need a chance to make sure that these things jump, you know what I mean? So that way we can have a bigger impact. And you also always want things, in my opinion, to be, what's the word that I'm looking for? Anticipated. You know what I mean? So give us a chance to manifest. I was taught that everything starts from an idea,
Yep.
And I'm a brother that have had no resources, man. I haven't had no money. I don't bump shoulders with all of the people that everybody, you know what I mean? So we doing this thing from the rooter to the tutor. You know what I mean?
Man.
So give us the opportunity to manifest these things so that we can make these things grow larger. These are just some of the people that you see on the flyer that I deal with on the day-to-day, or some of them that I surely believe in. The Black media source is a big one, so let's do this thing, and let's support each other in it.
I hear that,
man.
I want to speak a little bit on the fact that I've been kind of waiting a little bit on certain organizations to get together. This is one of the first times I think in a while that you've been able to team up with Malcolm X Memorial Foundation. As everybody knows, we were running Mind and Soul out of Malcolm X Memorial Foundation before First Sky Omaha. We've always been in hopes that there was going to be some collaboration there. And it looks like that's what's happening. This event is happening at the Malcolm X Memorial Foundation.
Yes, sir.
Can you speak a little bit on how you guys got together on this? Looks like we got a little freeze going on here.
There you go. Uh-oh.
Brother Qasim, if you got any windows open, you might want to close those there so you can your internet's jumping around a little bit. Okay, we might have to have him. You still there? If you can hear us, you might want to go ahead and restart on that so we can get your internet connection.
Okay, give me 2 seconds.
All right, we have a little. All right, cool. All right, we'll go ahead and let him restart there real quick. And yeah, so anyway, yeah, I'd love to hear about what's going on here with that situation. Because there's still, we haven't talked about it in a while, but Malcolm X Memorial Foundation is the birthplace of Malcolm X.
Yeah, man.
There's a facility there. There's several acres there. I know that there's a Freedom Tainment event that's coming on in the summer over there. They'll be back outside with the stage again and so on. But we don't really talk too much about much that's going on there. So I'm glad to hear that there's some collaboration happening. And can't wait to hear the story there on that.
Man, you kind of got me thinking like that, how sacred that ground really is. And I'm thinking back to, Freedom Summer when they had that rally that the BAA and the Malcolm X Memorial Foundation teamed up on. That was powerful. But even before then, like really, how long has the kind of revolutionary, I don't even want to say revolutionary, just the fight for liberation, how long that's been going on at that grounds. Again, even before Brother Malcolm was born there, Reverend Little, that was Reverend Little's property. And if you don't know about Reverend Little was a Garveyite. He and his wife, they were Garveyites. So again, that ended that land has been a center point for a lot of this same energy for quite some time. So it's beautiful to see now that the BAA, like you said, the Malcolm X Memorial Foundation, Untamed, we gonna be there. Like the community is really coming together at this point in time. If you really look at what's going on in America, it's very, very history is happening right now, y'all, and I'm just hoping you see it. Hoping I'm doing a good job of putting it in perspective and context. So yeah, definitely big ups to you and Brother Qasim for putting this together. Are you good now? It looks like we got you back. Did you catch the question before you cut off?
No, I didn't. Could you hit me with it
Okay.
one more time?
Yeah, go ahead, Paul.
Yeah, absolutely. Just talking about the fact that that just wanted to hear if you had anything to report on how the collaboration between you, between the BAA and Malcolm X Memorial Foundation, the event's going to happen at the Malcolm Memorial Foundation grounds, and just wanted to hear how that came about and how relationships go there when it comes to just this BAA Malcolm X, I'm saying Untamed. I'd love to see the collaboration. How did that come about, and how are things going with that?
Man, I think that when we talk about how it came about, is divine. Is something that was going to happen one way or the other, and it makes perfect sense. The two entities. We feel like we have a lot as a structure that we can contribute to the legacy and to the building up of that particular monumental thing that the sisters and the brothers have held in place, and we would like to be a part of that, as I'm sure they would like to be a part of what we have going on as well, so that we can make this thing all make sense. So I think that it was something that was going to happen, divinely, and it's that time. It's that time now. Is that time? So,
Man,
So
indeed.
love to hear about it. We always are talking about, every time we bring this flyer up. Let me bring it up again real quick. Every time we talk about this event coming up, we definitely read off the names of the individuals that we recognize, which is, of course, BAA, Black Agenda Alliance, Untamed. We see Malcolm X Memorial Foundation's name there, Omaha Star, First Sky Omaha, 95.7 The Boss. The names on the bottom there, I'm not familiar with. What are those other three entities that are there that you got there on the flyer?
that's Heartland newspaper.
Oh, okay, cool.
Okay, that's
Maya.
Heartland.
Yep,
Yeah,
Brother Maya.
that's Heartland newspaper, which is Maya. And then you have Security One Solutions. That's another security company ran by Brother Tony Cannon, who also does the CCW CHP training courses. That is our CHP CCW instructor. And then you have Alpha Weaponry, who is our black gunsmith, also bodyguard, weapons training. See, all of us work together. We actually, I'm kind of like the glue between the black security companies. I'm my own individual person, but at any time I can go here, and we pull this thing together. So those are other entities in which and where we get our weapons training and gunsmith, black gunsmith, and all that stuff, man. So yes, sir, the whole nine. We wanted to make sure that if we were going to give up the CHP CCW classes, that you also get an opportunity to sign up for actual weapon training. Just because you have a firearm don't mean that you know how to use it. You may not know how to clean it. Majority of the people don't. So yeah, so those are the other few entities that you see. There will be more added to this new flyer, by the way.
Beautiful. So that's growth. Before we get out of here, before we let you go, I did want to pivot a little bit and talk a little bit more about other activities that the BAA are a part of. Is starting to warm back up, but we just learned that we're going to get two early weeks of spring. How's the flag football league looking? How's your survival camp? What are some of the other activities that are gearing up here as the year progresses?
Man, football. We're actually going to start an early registration on the day of the actual Black Power event.
Beautiful. Okay.
Which will be the 17th. So we'll have a registration table there. I project the league being bigger this year than any other year for many reasons.
Mm-hmm.
The funding is looking beautiful. We done stacked up a lot
Nice.
of money and people donating from the community all winter long and all year long. Urban Survival Club, we've been running that all winter, man. In house.
Okay.
We just had a class. I got pictures. I got to put them up, but we just had a whole class Saturday, and we dealt with the history of gangs, and we broke that thing all the way down, man, over some pizza. Class was full. Parents was in tune. It was some laughter. It was some sad. It's all good. I'm gonna get with
Beautiful.
Sister Celeste Butler here soon, and I think next week we'll be taking the boys to the art exhibit and a few other things. So during our off season, we spend a lot of classroom time. You know, and so everything is still looking good. We're looking at we've started looking at plans for the property as far as getting our first establishment put on the property. Uh, the youth center, or not the youth center, but the for our youth programming, and some suites inside of the facility for Black businesses and all that good stuff, man. So the land is looking good. Um, they just made me the coordinator, which I haven't announced yet, of the Black Dawah Network here in the state of Nebraska.
Mm.
Fastest growing Black Dawah, Islamic Dawah
Wow.
distributor. So it's a lot going on, but we're looking good. We're looking sharp. Membership is growing. Everything is looking good right now. Can't complain.
Beautiful. Beautiful.
I've been thinking a lot about how First Guy Omaha, this collab that we got going on here too, man. We're really trying to gear up in order to get some advertising going and get some ads out, so you can really step into the marketing situation. Every time you come with a new announcement or something like that, I'm like, yeah, this is the kind of stuff we need to be blasting out there and make it as big as anything that's on Channel 7 or anything. You know what I'm saying? So I get excited about the stuff that you guys got going on over there. I can't wait to see the plans. I even want to see the plans before you get your building built. I want to, you know what I'm saying?
Professionally done and everything, man. It'll trip
Man,
you out.
doing it the right way.
We're gonna throw a team down there this year, man. I said we would pay a tribute, but we'll have a First Guy youth team down there, man. You guys can represent, man. I'll make sure I put a team together to smash them every Saturday.
Yeah, we definitely want to sponsor a team down there for sure, man.
We got y'all, man. Let's get a banner, like I told y'all, man. Let's get it on. So
yeah, this is it. This is the year for that, bro. So I appreciate it. I'll just jump into the chat real quick, man. Tony Johnson got a good suggestion. He said, replicate NOI's final call approach to get info out. Man, he said, when I travel, they keep me in the know of where I am. So yeah, I had to learn more about that. I don't know about that. I don't know how their system works, but if it does all that, man, where you
about to make me grab my stack,
man, get your stack out. Let me see what's going on.
Hey, I got one too.
Hey, that's what's up. But always when I go find that brother down there who's got the bean pies, I got
Brother Terry Muhammad.
Gotta get the brother Muhammad. Got to get the pies, bro. Then I grab one, and of course we got, there you go. Look at you got the stack.
Yeah.
That's what's up, man. Hey,
you got support, man. You got support.
Let me put this out there right now, bro, because every time we start to talk about how we gonna distribute news, I miss the paper, bro. I miss them.
Do
papers.
you?
I really do. But we always come to the conclusion that reading the newspaper is not, you got to meet people where they're at. Everybody like this. Everybody like this all the time. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like on the phone. So that's got to happen. We got to send that news there. But I also miss the reader. You know what I'm saying? LA Times, in California, the weekly. You know what I'm saying? I miss having that paper, bro, that you can just kind of roll around with. Chill somewhere and read, and let us know. I'm putting out there to the chat chimers and the ghost listeners. You guys miss the paper? You know what I'm saying? Is that still an outlet for y'all? Some of the most important things that are out here to go to check out, like Final Call, is a newspaper still. Newspaper form. You know what I mean? So put it out there. Let's do a little poll. Find out whether or not that's still something you guys do. You guys read the World Herald or any of the other publications? I know support. There you go. Got to support. Also, in my Yas paper.
Yep.
Heartland News. That's a paper as well. So you know what I'm saying? Like we still get our information out in print form, let us know how important that is to you as well. So definitely got to find new tactics and new. This is what we're doing all year. This year is being creative about finding new tactics on how to get information out.
I mean,
Um,
man, you kind
yeah.
of got my mind going on that. I ain't really think
Okay,
about it. Like,
but before we
go
do that, I
ahead, go
just want,
ahead,
I
go
want to let
ahead.
everybody know it's 8 o'clock right now. If you believe in the concept of time, we've been speaking with Brother Qasim from the BAA. If you got any questions for him, let him please let us know. We definitely got special guests. The senator's coming on here in a minute, so want to make sure that we get all the questions out there that we can for Brother Qasim.
Yep.
And if as a matter of fact, if there's any questions that you have, you might want to hit him up on Facebook as well. You have any other areas that you would prefer to be contacted? If anybody wanted to contact you, maybe for a security gig or anything like that, what's the best way to reach you, Brother Kasim?
Man, social media,
Yeah.
Facebook, trying to come out of the dinosaur age and spread out a little bit. But
Okay.
so right now, social media,
Okay.
that's the best. That's the best way.
That's what's up.
There
Appreciate
you
that.
go. Definitely reach out, especially for your security needs. You're gonna do you right. You're gonna get you right.
Yep.
I like 13 bookings yesterday, 2 days ago,
Oh
man.
man,
Okay.
you staying busy.
Man, I be giving a lot of it away. It's just mental, and that's another thing people don't realize. Like, man, there's been times where I'll be like, if my mental ain't in check, man, I won't go do a job.
Man,
Man, that's
I won't.
beautiful.
I won't. If I don't feel mentally competent, man. There's been so many jobs that I've just given away to brothers that I knew would represent my name well.
wow.
So like,
Mm.
so I can already tell, you know, when I might react to something a little faster than I normally would. So I do a lot of that, man, and it really has made me an incredible person, in regard to my mentality and staying patient. And I've done it so many
Bro,
times, man, where I've given up. I've given up money, good money, just because my mental wasn't there.
that's
Oh
so,
yeah.
bro. You just said one of the most important things there is to say. If we can bottle that up and sell that to the police department, we need to,
Man, you read my mind. Like, dude,
bro.
I wonder, do the police get a mental health days? Probably not, but they should.
They should, man.
They definitely should. They definitely should. If anybody should, they should. But I'm with that woman. She says that's being responsible. Thank
Come
you.
on,
Thank you.
man. Come
Thank
on,
you.
bro. And it's also it's also great to hear that there's a network of security, black security companies, and that you are you can kind of send out work.
Mm-hmm.
You guys all talk. No, this is very enlightening about this situation here. There ain't no need to hire an off duty police officer if you ask me. We have several security companies in town that can help
Man.
with your event. And you hearing it firsthand about how that ought to be working. I mean that's a man right there. That's a man saying that. That's courage to
Mm-hmm.
say, even when my mental state's not where it needs to be. If I know I'm gonna be out here fighting, I just will call it off and pass up money and pass it on to somebody else so that you can, because you always got to be out there with a level headed mind. You ever hear a
Yeah.
police officer say anything like that? I ain't gonna go into work today. I'm gonna take a mental health day because I feel like I might go out there and whoop somebody if I with the way I'm feeling. So let me. You ever hear you hear anybody else say that?
No, I haven't, but it's real. And actually,
Yeah.
we're in the process of starting a whole umbrella called the 54th in honor of the Buffalo Soldiers. So that'll be the black
Mm.
security companies that have come up underneath one umbrella. You'll see a universal patch in
Mm.
between several of the structures. So
Bro,
myself and Brother Gerard are heading that up
bro, we
right
about
now as we speak. There's so much going on, man. These things take time,
Yeah.
and that's what I say, man. The best creativity and the best self-love, man, it come from the gutter, man. Can't nobody tell me anything different, brother. I have not. It's like, dude, let's get this thing popping. We don't need nobody but each other, man, on every front.
man. Appreciate you, bro. We about to have a discussion about some community policing here in a minute with this
Man.
umbrella he talking about. We got to let you go though, man. We running over. We got brother McKinney sitting in the wings, man. We want to edge into his time too much, but really appreciate you coming through. And let's do this a little bit more on a regular basis, bro. If you don't mind coming through on 7:30 on Mondays, then come on through, man, and we'll keep up on what's going on.
Let's get it popping.
That's
Yes,
what's up.
sir.
Appreciate you,
Appreciate
bro.
y'all. Yes, sir.
Peace. Peace.
Yep. There you go, ladies and gentlemen. Man,
Powerful.
woo,
Powerful, brother.
powerful.
Man.
Yeah,
Man.
real. We can go ahead and bring on brother McKinney, who I see sitting in the wings over here, real quick, because we already have edged into his time. There we go, brother McKinney. Good morning. Can you hear us?
Yeah, I can hear y'all. How y'all doing?
We're
All
doing
right.
well, man.
All
Doing well.
right.
How about yourself?
I'm doing good, man. Just
Apologize
dropping
for the
daughter.
lateness.
Yeah, I'm dropping my daughter off at school, running a little behind though, but I'm good.
Okay.
Okay.
Still
Okay.
on
Yeah,
daddy duty. Drive safely. Drive safely. Thanks for tuning in with us in the midst of all that. We appreciate you, brother.
no problem, man.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's real, man. We had brother Qasim. I don't know if you heard parts of the show there, but we had him on and really enlightened conversation
Yeah.
about security. Kind
yeah,
of
I was listening. It was a good conversation.
man. I'm,
Man.
I'm I'm inspired. I'm
Yeah.
inspired. I feel like this is. I feel like we're talking about the beginnings of community policing, policing our own community.
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying? There's a lot to be said there about what we just talked about.
Man.
So
And what's
yeah,
to come? And what's to come?
but
yeah,
yeah, moving on from there, man. Appreciate you coming on this morning. I know you got a lot going on as far as the legislature is concerned. Maybe we can start off on some of the things that's happening this week. One of the reasons why we have you on Monday, so you can let us know about the stuff that you're going to be pushing this week. Is a matter of fact as well. And while we're at that, I see brother Wayne coming in as well. So we go ahead and bring him in too.
Peace. Peace. Peace.
Good morning, brother Wayne. How you doing?
Good. How are you?
I'm good. I'm
All
good. I'm
right.
good. You guys, no cameras this morning for y'all. Just voices.
I'm driving.
Oh, you
Okay.
driving too?
Okay.
Yeah, I
Okay.
woke up a little. I woke up a little late this morning.
Okay.
Both
We'll
of you.
definitely drive safely to both of you. I guess before we really get into the thick of it, we were kind of talking about mental health. How's y'all mental health doing? I know y'all in the battle on the floor. How's everything going with you, gentlemen?
Hey,
Whoa.
brother McKinney, something going on with your microphone, man.
Turned into a chipmunk.
It's the first time I heard that one.
Yeah.
You might have to restart, come back in, bro.
Yep.
Well, that's the first time I heard that little tech glitch right there. That's
Yeah, that
funny.
was different.
Very different. If you can hear us, brother McKinney, come back in. In the meantime, brother Wayne, mental health, how you feeling?
Hey, how you doing?
I'm feeling good. Life is good, man. I ref some games this weekend and
Okay.
put together an amendment. I think the governor is going to sign off on.
Hmm.
We also LB 20, which is my eliminating the 2-year waiting provision when you for recently incarcerated people to be able to vote. And so
Mm-hmm.
Jane Rabel prioritized that. So it looks like that bill will be on the floor and we'll be able to get a vote on that this year. And looks like I got the support for it. So that'll be
Nice.
good.
That's what's up, man. That's you've been working on that one for a few years now, right?
Since I got in the legislature, it passed my first year, and then the governor vetoed it. So
Mm.
now we got to start all over.
Wow,
So it's been 8 years in the making.
man.
Man.
Is that one that's happening? Is that one that's gonna be on the floor this week?
I don't know. That's why I'm going down a little early today, so I can have that
Uh,
conversation with the speaker.
Okay, yeah. Let us know. Let us know. Come back and let us know on
yeah, that's
Friends
huge.
or whatever. Yeah, we trying to catch you guys on Monday so we can find out what's going on the weekend. What we gotta try to rally and get people down. So, Sean McCarthy said, "I think audio was set into Parliament."
Man.
Sir knows devoid of funk. That's what he
man.
got on. Oh, wait a minute. I see him. I see brother McKinney back in. Let's see if we. No, he's not. He's not back in yet. Okay, cool.
Yeah,
All
so
right.
McKinney's been having a lot going on. He's working real hard on his parole bill. He's meeting with a lot of people, and it's just sitting down and talking one on one. That's so time consuming. I guess people don't
Mm-hmm.
realize you, you're on the floor in the morning, then you're in committees in the afternoon. So just being able to sit down and talk to people one on one, it's hard. It's not a lot of time. So you find yourself there late till 4, 5, 6 o'clock at night trying to talk to folks and get your bills and stuff moving. And in the meantime, he coaches wrestling and I coach a little bit of basketball, but the people think this is kind of an easy job, but the time in Lincoln is just a lot.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
I can imagine. Sound like we got you back, brother McKinney. You there? Check 1 2 1 2. Aqua Boogie, baby. All right. We had a
Okay.
little technical
What y'all think of the Academy Awards last night? or it's the
Well,
Grammys. I don't even. I'll tell you how much I was paying attention.
Yeah, it's the Grammys, man. Free Killer
Grammys.
Mike, man. Free Killer Mike.
Yeah, we talked about the sweep, Killer Mike's sweep.
Yeah.
I was telling him that Michael album's been on rotation in my house for all year, basically. So I'm glad that he got some acknowledgement for that. So yeah, we talked about that at the beginning of the show. We talked a little bit about the Grammys, man. We kind of hyped about it. What'd you think? What was your highlights for you?
I didn't watch it. I was just making small talk.
No.
I didn't exactly watch it either. I don't have cable over here, so I started watching something online that I thought was the Grammys. It wasn't quite the Grammys. It was the pre-Grammys,
Pre-show. Mhm.
pre-show. So we just been seeing highlights here and there of some of the performances. I heard Jay-Z got up and did a speech
Okay.
that went on for a little minute, and I can't wait to go back and check that out. But anyway, I'll jump into the chat real quick. Miss Erica Fessels, I sent Senator Wayne an email Saturday as an example to other child care providers and offered myself as a resource to him and being my senator. That's what's up. I don't
Okay.
know if you got Miss Erica Felt's email, Brother Wayne. Check it out. She's our resident child care expert and has been really advocating, talking about this the resources for childcare providers. You know anything about that? About any efforts there?
I'm not on that HHS committee or stuff goes. There's, but I'm not for those areas that we really know about.
Mm.
So having a hard time getting stuff the floor out of
Okay. All
Mm.
right. Okay, appreciate
So,
that.
so,
Yeah.
so the dynamics is, I guess you kind of never really talked about this before. Now I'm thinking back, but the dynamics are, you have committees, and we got standing committees down there that do a lot of the will do most of the leg work. But if you can't get your bill out of committee, you have to do a special motion called a poll motion, and that's just hard to do in general. People
Mhm.
don't like doing it, so a lot of our stuff gets caught up in committee, and so we can't
Mm.
ever get stuff to the floor.
Mm. I know you're not on the committee as you mentioned, but it's kind of interesting. We see a lot of things, I guess how you want to put it, not happening or not happening. What the
Right.
Department of Health, DHHS. Can you kind of speak to why some bills, a lot of, as you said, a lot of bills aren't coming out of HHS?
So it comes down to if the governor really wants anything. And so the problem
Mm.
with it, I mean, HHS in general, like you hardly ever hear me get up and knock HHS. And part of the reason why I don't is I don't know the answer. So
Okay.
I'm not one of the people who like to just complain without knowing the answer.
Right.
HHS in general is overly complicated, way too big. And there's too many branches of government playing. So you got the legislature who plays around with laws and tries to put standards in. HHS is supposed to carry it out. But when it comes to juvenile, people got to remember the court is heavily involved.
Mm-hmm.
So getting providers, trying to increase provider rates to make sure that there's resources for communities in and of itself is hard. This governor and the previous governor wants to push everything towards property tax relief. So it's just difficult. But then you got the juvenile courts. I mean, they're difficult and just in how they're set up. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
each parent can have their own attorney. Grandparents can intervene. That means they get their own attorney. The kid has their own attorney. And before you look up, you got 10, 11 attorneys in the room. And can none of them decide what's in the best interest of the kids because they all got opposite ideas of what it is. So
Mm-hmm.
these cases just linger out for 2 or 3 years, and then your name is in the system, your kid's in the system. And so anytime there's a run-in with the law, it's like, oh, this is a bad kid. And then you get labeled, and now you're trapped in the system.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, and it's like, I don't know. I mean, there's so many areas where to begin. Do you begin with the kids and remove them from the home? But what good is removing them from the home if you put them right back in the home later and the home life ain't changed?
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
So then how do you provide for parents? And then you got this belief in, really in all minority communities, is like, once you let the government in, it's a done deal that they're gonna find something else. So
Mm-hmm.
you parents feel reluctant to do voluntary services. Like, do I want to sit down and and talk to a counselor or a therapist and talk to these resources when, I might say something that they got to report.
Man, red
And now,
flag.
bam, now you got more issues, right? And so
Mm-hmm.
it's a snowball effect that we got to figure out. But I'm one of the ones that say that I listen to a lot of people, try to figure out what the best answer is. But that's almost like dealing with OPS, right? And I'm not trying to knock OPS either, but it's just so big with so many issues. It's like, where do you start? And when you fix one thing, then it hurts something else over here, and it becomes this complicated web. And until we step back and look at the entire system, I think it's hard to change just a nugget.
Man, man, man. Very, very eloquently put. I appreciate that. And that kind of brings up an article that we have coming out of the Lincoln Journal Star that's very interesting. That is the way you just broke down the whole judicial system in Nebraska. It's funny that now we're seeing headlines that says Nebraska legislature is being blamed for the overcrowding situation in Nebraska. Yet we see, just recently the judicial, one of the Supreme Court justices just called for more, child youth facilities, saying that the whole justice system is being held together with baling wire and bubble gum. You have, people in the administrative branch that's calling for more prisons to be built. What are your thoughts on news that the legislature is being blamed for overcrowding?
So there's a couple things. I mean, I think we got to take ownership that we didn't pass legislation that was big enough to change our trajectory of our prison population. But let's not get it confused that Governor Ricketts at the time and now Governor Pillen, they got a lot of sway in the legislature not passing legislation. So every time that we try to do something, I think the last one was 2016. Before I got there, maybe 2014, there was it's called 605, and it was some big changes in the legislative or in the rules and sentencing guidelines and things like that. But we didn't go far enough, and everybody knew it wasn't going to work when we passed this watered down version. And it's just, I mean, like LB 50 last year, we watered it down to a point where it was some change, but the big changes that would make a big difference, the body isn't passing. So I do think there's a little bit to blame for the legislature, but let's be honest. The governor, all the way back from Heinemann, have been kicking this can down the road because they want to say it's tough on crime instead of smart on crime.
Wow. Brother McKinney, I think we got you back now. Are you here?
Yeah, I'm here.
Okay, cool.
Loud and clear.
Yeah, appreciate you. I'm not sure if you heard the discussion here. I just want to get your take on some of the things that were being said. If you heard it.
I heard the last part about the article in the Journal Star. Yeah, I mean, since I've been in the legislature, been kicking the can down the road, and as Senator Wayne said, it started way before my time of just not necessarily doing everything
We lose you again. Check 1 2.
Yeah.
Yep, we lost him.
Y'all got the technical difficulties today. Okay.
Yeah, we are, but I mean,
On the
that was
move.
because we normally already down there by now. And that's, like I said, I don't know. I got up a little late, but it's cool. I was getting that good sleep, where you just, you be like 5 more minutes and it turned into an hour. It just happens,
I've been there.
Happened to me this morning. For sure.
But no, so I mean, it's just complicated. Like every time, I mean, LB 50 right now is being challenged on retroactivity by the Attorney General, right? So, and all that means is, and all we try to do is say no more flat sentences. And if you got a 20-year sentence, then 80% of that you have to do, but the last 20 you're eligible for parole. We ain't guaranteeing anybody on parole. We just saying you're eligible. Now that's being challenged by the courts. I mean, now it's in the courts, and so every time we try to make some changes, it feels like the Attorney General and the Governor's office is always putting up a fight.
Tough on crime, like you said, that tough on crime thing, I guess. Huh?
Yeah. We recently reported on this bill and this idea about the with the short timers, I think they're referring to, about
Yeah.
rerouting, not even sending, individuals serving less than a year to the facilities. Or what are your thoughts on that? Would you support that?
Yeah, I mean, it goes back. I mean, I'm supporting that the state take over all the county jails at this point.
Okay.
One, I think it's a way that we actually have real property tax relief. We start taking off this burden on local counties. But two, it doesn't make sense to send somebody down for 1 year and 1 day, let's just say, or 2 years, and they're gonna be out by the time they get done processed. They'll be out in a year if they got a 2 year sentence. But you sit down there, you can't get involved in programming, you can't do anything. So you literally just sit for a year and come back home. So it makes more sense if you can put somebody in a Madison County jail for a year. At least you can provide some programming, get them in their community where they can do some community work and get a job and really have a transition. And so it doesn't make sense for these people who are doing 2 years to go down there and not be able to get any programming.
Mm. Yeah,
So
makes sense.
as far as that's one thing I didn't quite understand. As far as the prison is set up now, there's like a probation period when a new inmate comes in, or how
Yeah, so you
how
go
long do
to,
you have to wait before you can get into programming?
we used to call it D&E, diagnostic and intervention or whatever, evaluation, diagnostic evaluation. So you go down there and you got to get processed, right? So what I mean by process is it's a 90-day to 120-day process where supposedly they're going through your record, you're doing mental health evaluations, you're doing everything. Then the prison's also trying to figure out who you can and can't be next to, right? So you don't want
Mm,
rival gangs and things like that. So
mm,
that's a 90-day to 100 or 120 days at one point, but a 90-day period. So then by the time you get transferred to, let's say, to Comstar or whatever, programming, the classes are probably already starting. So it's like think about it at school, like you got quarters
mm.
or trimesters. So by the time you get there, you might get there in the middle of a quarter. Well, you got to sit. Now you sit another 3 to 4 months. Well, hell, does it make sense for you to do programming for 4 months or just sit and do your time? I mean,
Jam
either
out.
way, unless you want to better yourself, but at the time, you might be deflated and defeated, and so you just got a lot of people sitting. And then the last part of it is most of our programming is at capacity. We
Mm,
don't pay enough in some of these facilities to, which is also underneath the governor's negotiations. We don't really pay enough to have enough counselors and people working.
mm.
So we don't have enough programming.
Wow. Yeah, I can see that. Working with Metropolitan Community College right now with their reentry program, they're overwhelmed too. So even outside, you got to have outside entities helping, and there's still need more help needed. So yeah, it makes sense. Brother McKinney, if you're there, I wanted to give you a chance to finish what you were talking about there. I think you got cut off. You
Still
there?
cut off.
I see a couple instances here. Hold on, let's try this one. Brother McKinney, you still there? Okay. All right, having technical difficulties with Brother McKinney. We'll keep him. I'm sure he'll keep trying while we're on. But
So I mean, you got to think about. But here's the other thing people got to think about: it's 2,500 people to 3,000 being released every year. So
Mm,
imagine that many number of people that have to be processed, and them ranges anywhere from 2 years, 1 year to 2 years to people who are doing 30, 40 years. But if you got 2,500 going through a system, let's just say that I think it was like 40% of that 2,500 are short timers. You got to figure out programming for almost 1,000 people, and you got to figure out how to individualize it within a year. And,
mm,
and and they just show up on your doorstep, and you're like, all right, I got a year to figure out how to give them programming. I mean, that's also difficult. So it ain't all on the state. It's just that they show up at your door, and you got to figure out a whole program for them within a year, and that sometimes is difficult.
hear that. Jump in the chat real quick, brother.
mhm.
Jahish Shabazz is in the chat. He says, "I'm approved as a provider. I can build a youth facility instead of a detention and lockup. Senator Wayne, I'm ready for our meeting. Locking up blacks is a stable asset for their budgets. It perpetuates poverty, and we respond like a band-aid on a carcinogenic crisis with carpetbagger begging nonprofits." Interesting comment. Uh, other facilities instead of detention lockup? How is that? How would you be able to partner with him on something like that?
So there are a lot of people who are calling for an alternative to DCYC or the new juvenile jail, and that's kind of what Radius was born out of. And then now they're saying they need something between Radius and DCYC. So there's a lot of people talking about it. The problem is having the money up front to do it, right? And so the county ain't doing it, so everybody's turning to the state. Well, I'm telling you, our fight with the state is they want to reduce property taxes by 40%. That's the governor's said goal. Well, that's about $1.5 billion that we got to figure out how to find. So us asking for 75 million or 100 million for facilities, it's just not on the governor's radar.
Wow. Also in the chat, Megan Miller Jenkins says the RTC was on lockdown yesterday because they were below critical staffing. There was also an incident this week that injured approximately 28 inmates, but no news because no one died.
So the reason there's no news is because they haven't reported it. So we've had some inmates reach out to both Senator McKinney and me and a couple other people saying that last Tuesday there was supposedly issues going down. I don't want to use the word riots or nothing like that because I haven't confirmed anything, but there was supposedly some critical staffing issue and some assaults that took place. And so I heard they were on lockdown lockdown yesterday due to staffing. Again, that's all underneath the governor's purview. I mean, I actually introduced a bill this year to move the prison system underneath the legislature. And of course, it wouldn't be the legislature running it, but we could set up an independent board like Arkansas and other states have done that showed a little more success. Watching people go from the beginning to the end inside the institution.
What is the RTC?
That's the new D&E Regional Treatment Center.
Okay.
Just I think that's what it is. Like, I mean, we get new acronyms every month. It seems like, and I think that's on purpose too, to confuse people.
Man, where certain individuals are going to be, where their loved ones are going to be. But you kind of brought up a issue that we have been covering and kind of really fell off. But I am curious as to where it stands right now between the legislature and the state as far as getting access and information. What's going on with the prison system? I know that there was an issue with the Inspector General's office. How's that looking?
So there's actually like 3 bills in front of the exec board. As a matter of fact, I think mine might be this week on a hearing. Oh, I can't turn off my. Okay, I'll have to look later. But so there's 3 bills that deal with the ombudsman. That's the people who the legislature hires to oversee. It's called the Inspector General. One of them will come out. Depends on, I don't know what version. There's the governor friendly version, and then there's just my version saying we can do it. You can't stop us. So that's kind of where it is, but there is no oversight by the legislature right now. They've turned down. They've closed the doors and said we can't go in.
Man, radio silence, and from what we're hearing, there's people dying, and it's not really being reported.
And from what I'm hearing, like I said, there was some incidents last Tuesday at the RTC, and we don't really have any confirmation or anything.
That sounds like that's like against the law. I'm not sure.
It is against the law, and it's against the Constitution. Our Constitution specifically says the legislature has control over mental and penal institutions, and we get to dictate what we do with it. And years ago, a century ago, we placed it inside the governor's office, but that doesn't mean we can't move it.
I was thinking in terms of the reporting of it. I was thinking in terms of just the press being able to report such things.
Man, I mean,
also being not feeling very legal that they can just have the deaths and stuff go on here and nobody reports it.
Right.
Yeah,
right.
and I asked the legislature in November, and then again at the beginning of the year that we should be suing the governor at this point, but that's the executive board call, and only there's 2 people from Omaha in there, and it's Vargas and Merv Reapy. So You know,
Mm.
they have not pushed for it.
Man, I mean, I've been calling for human rights violations. It's clearly getting to that level, especially if people are dying and not much information is being released. They're being very close-lipped about how these situations are happening. Um, yeah, it's very, very, very concerning. The more we hear about it, I do want to acknowledge Maggie Miller Jenkins because to your point, Paul, if they're not letting the legislature in, how can we get any information? And it seems like we gotta talk to the people. Like we gotta talk to the people inside. The people inside have to leak the information. As Senator Wayne said, incarcerated individuals they've reached out. But also apparently some guards are speaking up. I believe Maggie Miller Jenkins, her husband is a guard. She says you can use riot. You can use the word riot. She says it was as close as they've come, and the inmates were quote unquote supposed to be attacking the guards, according to a firsthand confession. You can hit me up and get confirmation from guards. So yeah, what is really going on in our prison system, and what can be done if the powers that be are kind of at ends or at odds with each other.
Yeah. Appreciate the information on this. This is something we're definitely going to be trying to follow up on as much as we can. Let's move on from there before we do have another guest that's going to be coming in here pretty soon. But before we get going on that, we definitely we want you guys to be able to come on Monday so you can let us know about what's going to be on the floor this week, if so we can try to organize people going up and supporting bills or fighting other bills. What's on your radar for this week that you can use some boots to the roots on?
Not a whole lot. Most of our bills we've already kind of, the ones I think we're going to try to move this week, we've already kind of did. For me, I'm looking at a tax credit for inland port and youth sports and really just community organizing in general. That bill was heard last week, and to be quite honest, I didn't ask for a big crowd, and I don't want a big crowd. I'm trying to keep this just under the radar to try to get something going, because we need a dedicated revenue stream in Omaha, particularly East Omaha, just around. I hate using the word philanthropic community, but we gotta support our own, and I'm tired of going to the same mafia foundations that we gotta go to,
Mm.
and so we're trying to figure out a dedicated revenue stream that we can come together as a community and go sell on the market for tax credits and build our own.
That's what's up.
So
Okay, sounds good. I don't know if we're gonna get Brother McKinney back here. He
man,
just sent a message and said his phone keeps crashing, so we apologize for that. We'll definitely try to catch up with him a little later on in the day, maybe, and get some more feedback on some of the things that he got going on this week that he might need us for, and then we'll put that on Friends of First Sky Omaha for sure. So yeah, we got a couple people in the chat. Brother Shabazz, just want to let you know what the chat when we chime into the chat, we got guests on. You can speak to them directly. So definitely, we kind of use the chat as us speaking face to face to each other. He says first 25 to 50 units will set up with DHHS approved floor plan for black males waiting to hear from the senator. So. I don't know if you mean Senator Wayne. If so, you guys have a conversation. We'll figure this out. Maggie Miller Jenkins says Tuesday education brings guns into school from Brewer. So that's something to look at. How do you feel about about arming teachers?
So this is one of them weird bills that's going to be like this week or last week we had two-man crew on the floor, which is requiring two people to be in a train, and it's Republican kind of on Republican issue, and this gun in schools is the way his bill is crafted. It doesn't authorize, like it doesn't say that every gun has to, that every school can get a gun. What it does, it says it's up to the local school board district, and so I'm not in favor of it. But what's going to be interesting to see how the local control versus state policy plays out in the education. It's always tension. We want, like I always say, we want local control until it doesn't work for us. Um, so out in western Nebraska, let me just give you the dynamics. If something happens at one of their schools, one of their county sheriffs could be 30, 40 miles away.
Mm.
That's That's different than, Omaha Public Schools, who has, SROs, or Millard, who has SROs. But if you put that in context, you're out there, let's say at Valentine, and that county sheriff or two sheriffs, whatever, get called out to someplace 30 minutes away, and something happens at a school. There's nothing. So I don't want people just to get upset and be like, "Hey, this is a terrible idea." For urban cities, absolutely. But if you're talking somewhere in the middle of Nebraska, that you got literally one or two sheriffs in, and a kid brings or not just a kid, let's say an adult comes to school and starts firing on these kids and on everybody else, that's a different scenario. I'm not saying, again, I'm not in favor of the bill, but I think people should just understand where Brewer is coming from when he says Cherry County is larger than Maine, larger than Maryland, and we got three sheriffs out there, couple state patrol. If something happens and somebody's got to defend somebody, it's going to take us a half hour before anybody gets there, if not an hour. That's a different conversation than something happening at Omaha North.
Yeah, makes sense. I understand that. Don't I still, like you, don't agree with the bill? Still,
Right.
but at the same time, I can. Yeah, it's helpful to understand where they're coming from with it. It will affect Omaha in a big way, though. I believe if the bill goes through, so it will be situations where they're trying to arm police where there's already police. I mean, armed teachers where there's already police. So, um, yeah, but no, it's interesting to hear that side of things for sure. Appreciate that.
Yeah, no, it's definitely a big perspective that obviously a lot of us didn't think of. That woman saying thank you as well, since I really didn't think about rural areas. That changes my thoughts.
Uh, and so, I mean, what Brewer's bill does is, I mean, it doesn't say you get to put, and I just do this. I mean, I read it because Brewer's a friend of mine, but that doesn't mean I'm supporting the bill. But I was like, he's saying local school boards get to decide, and then if they do decide, here are all the gun is locked and who has or who, like, it isn't just like, all right, we're gonna give Joe Blow teacher a gun and he gets to walk around with an AR-15. That's not what the bill is. The bill is saying, if local school boards decide that they want to have a gun in the school or have an armed guard, here are the things that they also got to do. But media and people are kind of spinning this a little because it's Brewer and he's a pro to Second Amendment guy. They're saying it's a horrible bill. I'm saying it's a bad bill, but there's a way maybe you can fix it a little bit. But I'm not, generally I'm not in favor of SROs being in school. I just think anytime you have guns in school that aren't necessarily secured, locked, etc., something bad can happen. I mean, that's what I always tell people about SROs. The reason why SROs aren't supposed to break up fights in a school is because now you got two kids fighting, and then an SRO comes in. Now you got two kids fighting with the potential to grab a gun.
Right.
Man.
Like,
I mean, even the pepper spray. I done been pepper sprayed in a couple school fights, just watching. Like, yo, take it easy.
I've been after somebody pepper spray that was trying to shoot it at me, so I understand. Yeah. Man, yeah, I appreciate that, man. Like I said, we always get this is what this show is for. We always get the headlines. We always get, we always get the sensational pieces. Never the nuance. We might need to just change this show to First Guy Nuance, and so we can kind of understand things a little bit better all the way around. But yeah, appreciate that. Very appreciate you breaking that down. Very much there, and there's some other things there that we'll have you on. We'll have you back next week so we can talk about a few other things that we have some questions on that maybe we can get a little nuance on as well. But before we let you go here, give us a last little bit. What's on your mind for the week? It doesn't have to be politic related. It could be personal. Whatever the deal is, how you feeling?
Man, I'm gonna lose 3 pounds this week. I'm going to we're gonna work out. We're gonna get the sun is up. And we just got to keep fighting, and that's just kind of where it is. It's like, people. My grandmother, she's over 85 years old, and they've watched America change from horrible to bad to now we're doing a little better, and we just got to make it better for the next generation. That's all. And we keep that approach going, I think things will work out. It's when we lose focus of the next generation and we focus on ourselves where we get lost in the way.
Man, appreciate that.
Hey, bro.
Appreciate that.
Hey. I'm gonna match. I'm gonna match your 3 pounds. So let's do a little competition.
All right.
You
That
lose.
works for me.
You lose 3. I lose 3. We'll make it happen.
I know, but I'm getting paid to lose weight. I'm refereeing.
Oh, okay. Okay. So
Aha.
you got a little
Aha.
advantage. Got a little
Yeah,
advantage on me.
hey, that's like cheat mode.
A little bit. Hey, you gotta work smarter, work smarter and harder.
Yeah, bro. Hey, appreciate you coming on, man. Is this still a good time? Is 8 o'clock still a good time? Just want to make sure.
Yeah, it is. Usually, like I said, I'm already in Lincoln by now, so that works out better. The 7:30 was always trying to figure out if I'm gonna drive earlier or stay here. So yeah, that works out better.
Exactly.
Perfect. Well,
Right
thank
on.
you, brother.
All right, y'all be easy.
All right, man. Peace.
Peace.
I'm through the challenge out there. He got an advantage on me already. See how that
Man,
works?
see, flapping your gums. You got work to do now, Paul. You done
Yeah.
told the world.
We sure do. Hey, we're gonna take a quick break. We're gonna come back. We got another guest that was not planned that is coming on because there's a little bit of breaking news that we need to speak to this brother about. So stay tuned. We'll be right back. You're listening to First Sky Omaha Radio. First Sky Omaha in the morning. All be Buddi3 Da Gawd. All of you Chad Chalmers Ghost listeners, stay tuned. We'll be right back.
Hey,
Don't you touch nothing. I'm sitting here welcome back and my mic is muted.
I'm like, am I? is this me? Am I messed up?
Man,
What's going on?
I done sang the whole welcome back Carter thing and welcome back. I did the whole thing. Brother John Carter, good morning to you. How you doing?
Good. How you doing this morning?
Good. I'm glad we got you on, man.
Yes.
Yeah. So we got we had a last minute situation where we try to move some things around to slide you on because we hear you got some breaking news. First of all, let the people know who you are, if you would. Appreciate it.
Yes, sir. My name is John Carter. I was one of the founding members on the Commission for African American Affairs, and in October of this year, I was voted to be the chair of that commission. However, there's a meeting tonight, rather on Tuesday night, tomorrow, from 5 to 7. There's a special meeting the commission is holding, because they may be voting to change that, and that's what I'm here to talk about. But first, I just want to tell you a little bit about me and the commission. So I'm not a native Omaha person, but I did live in Omaha for quite some time. I attended Creighton University, went to law school there. I practiced law in Nebraska for a few years. I was a police officer in Lincoln, Nebraska, and then I became police chief in several other smaller communities when I left Lincoln. And I was in law enforcement a total of about 32 years until I ended up in Crofton, Nebraska, and I was terminated from that job after the new mayor took over because he said that that myself and another black officer made the town too dark. So he got rid of us. And that is the contention and some things I want to talk about today. With this commission has legislative authority. It came in 2020. Justin Wayne was instrumental in helping us get this commission passed, where it's not just like another nonprofit organization, but this commission was designed in the way that it was set up, that it can bring more accountability and to help small businesses and people and blacks across Nebraska who are entrepreneurs really get into true sustainability with the monies and whatnot that come in. And the purpose of the commission, according to the statute, which is under Section 81-2604. Our functions are to promote state and federal legislation that's beneficial to the African American community in Nebraska. We coordinate programs related to the African American community in Nebraska regarding housing, education, welfare, medical and dental care, employment, economic development, law and order, and related problems. We work with other state and federal government agencies and federal and state elected officials in the development of programs in the aforementioned areas. We keep the governor's office appraised of the situation in the African American community, and we provide the public with information and education relevant to the African American affairs in Nebraska. And we develop programs to encourage the total involvement of African American people in the activities for the common benefit of the African American community. That's what the commission is all about. So the commission has legislative authority. We have the ability to impact law and policy. So when we find things that are detrimental or even beneficial to the African American community, we let the governor's office know about that. But if there are things that we think or believe that need to be changed based on our work in the community and what the community is letting us know, that's what we pass along. This organization is no more powerful or no more relevant than the people in the community who will get behind it and support it. So it's important that people get involved. So what we do as far as accountability is that of the hundreds of millions of dollars that have come through this community, especially for North Omaha and monies that are intended for African American people across the state of Nebraska, there should be no less than 30 millionaire Black entrepreneurs across the state. But we just don't see that. That's because we have a mindset that everything must be nonprofit. But we don't understand that you cannot have your hand out and your chest out at the same time. And the other reason that we don't always grow is because whenever you control something that goes into a man's hands, or whoever controls what goes into a man's hands controls the man. So when we depend on the government agencies and government policies to dictate who we are in our communities is bad. And one of the things that we've been falling victim to now, of all of this that this organization is supposed to be correcting, we still go into the same thing, into the same mindset. So one of the things we need to learn to do is to protect the leadership that we choose. And that's one of the things that this commission was set up to help to do, to help people understand. Now, when a Black person credibility is attacked in Nebraska, in particular in Omaha, people don't rally around them. They kind of shun them. They stay away from them because the trick is to have the powers that be to discredit leaders that will really bring people to the next step, because we know what the problems are. We talk about it all the time, but nothing seems to get done about it. But then we let them say, yeah, that guy is very strong and that woman is very powerful. They're strong, but we don't agree that that should be your leader, because they're going to bring you to a place where we don't want you to be, because that's going to make you guys dangerous. So instead of that person, this is going to be your leader instead. And their leaders are chosen for them by the establishment. But it doesn't happen the other way around. Look at Donald Trump, right? This guy has had all kinds of allegations against him and indictments and everything else. But the people who support him, the people from the communities that support him, or that insular group around him, no matter what folks say, they make their own opinion, because some things you hear about people is true, some things may not be true. And that's the power of when people get behind the leadership in the community and they push them. This commission need people who are Black, who are proud to be Black, who are very familiar with the Black agenda and the problems that we're having and the successes that we have, and to come up with innovative ways and strategies that we can impact that we can become better situated to help our communities to grow. And that's not always happening. Now, this meeting, and we'll get back to that, that's happening on Tuesday night. You know, there's a state agency here, and Mike Foley, he's the auditor. He's the state auditor. These agencies get involved in people's lives, and they take down Black people. They take down Black leadership. It's not all just from the governor's office, because there's some very good people in the governor's office. There's some good people on this commission, but there's also folks that are here to destroy. They are, I mean, you guys call them gatekeepers, but you call them whatever you want. But the true issue is that there are people who will watch, and you can tell who they are because they really don't attend any Black events. They don't really promote any Black causes, but they are involved in anything that brings money to the Black community that they share into, but they really don't actively participate in. So you can so you can tell. So you don't need a whole lot of scientific whatever to figure out who they are, but you just need to watch them. But my credibility has been attacked. My credibility is being attacked because that's the way that they take us down. And if you believe that without doing your own research, and you hate people without a cause, or you dislike them based on what somebody else says, you've already lost the game. All of us lose in that respect, because the way that we win is that we have to come together, and we have to stick together. And I don't mean for crazy stuff, but I mean in really pushing to develop this community. And that's what this commission is supposed to be all about. 3 years that this commission has existed, have you seen or heard much about it? Most people say that they have not. That's because the old saying is, how you get a bunch of us together, we do nothing but fight like crabs in the bucket. I'm not saying that that's exactly the way it's been, but we spend a lot of time getting ready to get ready, and that doesn't help anybody, you see. So that's why I took the initiative, once I became the chairperson and several other people on the commission, to set up the meeting at Malcolm X, which was not very well perceived or taken. Some people even was calling around telling folks that the meeting was canceled because they didn't want them to be there. You know, so we run into those kind of things. What I'm imploring this community to do is to get behind this commission and to make sure that it's as strong as the people in the community are pushing it to be. This commission is intended to bring accountability and transparency to the hundreds of millions of dollars that come into the community, and then you don't know where it goes after it gets to certain agencies. If you've done the same thing with the same organizations and the same people for 30 years and nothing has changed, shouldn't that tell you that there's something wrong and another strategy need to be employed?
Yeah.
Keep doing the same thing and expect a different result. That doesn't work. But this sharecropping mindset that a lot of our people have got to be pulled down.
So what's running through my mind right now, and I'm sorry that we got some limited time here, and I'm also sorry that we haven't gotten you on sooner.
Yeah.
We wanted to learn more about the commission before before something like this is going down, because now there's a little bit of a call to action. But I know me, and I know a lot of the chat chimers still got a lot of questions about the commission and want to really understand and know how the commission's been working with other groups and so on and so forth. You talked about Black Agenda. How much have you had with the Black Agenda Alliance, so on and so forth. I know we can't get into all that before the end of the show here. So first and foremost, we definitely want to have you back and talk about all these things. But right now, some of the things that you're saying right now, you're definitely speaking our language about the organizations being in place for decades and the needle not moving. And I definitely see your passion on having this particular commission help move the needle. This commission is appointed by the governor, right?
Yes, but with Helen Wakefield and myself and Justin Wayne and William King and William, Willie Hamilton, because he was one of the original people that helped to start this commission too.
Right.
It was written that the governor, while he appointed people to the commission, the people who are appointed to the commission are supposed to be recommended by the community.
Right.
Because if you allow the governor to appoint his own people, then you just have another rubber stamp token group. That's all you have. Because, if you get people who have a very strong loyalty to the establishment, they're not going to do what's necessary to advance the agenda for the African American community across Nebraska, because they don't want to bite the hand that feeds them. I mean, that's just public. That's human nature. They're just not going to do that. So when you look at the commission makeup, where did these people come from? Are they from the areas where folks are really experiencing and having these problems, or are they from areas where, they're Black folks, but they don't do Black things. They're not involved with Black people. They don't have a nexus to the Black community.
Right.
They don't spend their dollars there. So that's why, that's what my point is. That's what I'm saying. In order to really make an organization like this relevant, it needs to have people on it who have been in the struggle. They pick the struggle and they stick with it.
We promise to have you back on to talk about the relevancy of this commission and the history and so on and so forth. But before we get out here, I do want to mention that one of the chat chimers, which was Gwen Easter, who is a known chat chimer, a content creator, camp alumni, a person who has been a resident person here on the show, is the one that told us about this, and she's been telling us about it a little bit and been saying that there's some things happening. So I appreciate that very much. Miss Erica Felt says that Chad Chimers reported prior to the event that there was false rumors of cancellation. We did hear that people were talking about that they were calling it off and that it was still on. We tried to help spread that message that it was still going down at the Malcolm X Memorial Foundation. So yeah, this has kind of been on our radar a little bit here and there, and we definitely want to learn more. But before you get out of here, I know there's a main purpose for you being here. Tony Johnson is asking, and the same thing I want to know too. Can you repeat the results about tomorrow's meeting and what is needed from the community? What can we do right now for tomorrow's meeting? And so we'll come back and discuss about the commission later, but what can we do right now?
We need the community to show up. That meeting is going to be at 1313 Farnham Street from 5 p.m. to 7 p.m. That's at that state office building downtown there in Omaha. Is at 1313 Farnham Street. They have a special meeting. The meeting is to remove me from the seat, from authority, from power, from this commission, based on the recommendation of Mike Foley and the folks in the governor's office. They don't want me to be a part of this organization because I'm not a part of the group. I'm not a part of the clique. Right. They know what I'm going to do. And so, and I'm all about the community, and I want to empower people to do what's going to be relevant and that's going to bring dollars to the pocket. You know, we can't talk about sustainability and then keep, supporting and handing people money through nonprofit organizations and think that nonprofit organizations are going to build millionaire entrepreneurs. That just isn't going to work. It hasn't. So, I mean, we've already seen the result. We need people to show up. What can the community do? Show up. It's not likely that I'm going to be a part of this commission after tomorrow night. But what I will do and what I will say is that I will continue my commitment to folks that want to learn things and do things. I'll talk with you. I'll meet with you. But I'm not going to fight with folks that don't want to be helped. And it's unfortunate because it's just some wrong people that are in those positions, because it's unfair, because the community can really use a breath of fresh air and some ideas and resources that are from outside of what they're used to show them a more excellent way. And that's all I was trying to do, is to show the people a more excellent way.
Man,
whether you're part of this commission tomorrow or not, we'll definitely have you back because we still need to discuss it. Okay. So, but we will put the word out here. Brother Jahi Shabazz says, let us know who the gatekeepers are, specifically name, and we will come down there and support you, brother.
I will. I will, because I will, because that's the only that somebody told me. I don't believe in that.
Yeah.
I will let folks know who these folks are, so when they get in your face and they're grinning, you know that they're wearing a black face, but they're really not black.
There you go. And for right now, the people that are trying to get you out right now is Mike Foley in the governor's office. Those are the people that that we need to tell we don't want you to go. Basically, is what we need to do here. So tomorrow, 1313 Farnham Street, State Building at 5:30.
Yes. Now, so let me say this too. Mike Foley. See what's odd about this? The governor's office and the way our statute reads the statute. They have no authority. They have no power to tell this commission how to vote or what to do. These folks are just going by what they're being told. That's the problem. When we set this up, when we wrote this statute, it was unlike any other commission. We have the authority and the power to do what's best for us as African American people, because for too long, the establishment has told us who our leaders were, has told us what to do, have told us who's going to be in place. So we wrote the statute so that could not happen. The governor does not put people on this commission. The people from the community do, although that's not necessarily the case now, but it's not supposed to be that way. The governor can't fire me from this commission. It'd take the commissioners to put me off this commission. The black folks who are put here for black interests, they will have to vote. And whatever vote that they do, the governor's office and all the other state agencies are going to respect their decision 100%. The decision is theirs. So therefore, the decision is yours, the community, because what they do as a commission reflects and is a microcosm to what the community is directing them to do. And I don't think there's been much conversation with the community at all at this point.
Yeah, me neither. McKinney is confirming that a few commissioners that are working with them to remove John definitely need to know who those commissioners are. So let us know on that, and we'll definitely try to do that. Maggie Miller Jenkins is asking, what message would you like attached to this call to action?
That we choose our leaders, and if they're doing a good job, and and just because they seem to be a threat to your agenda, that's too bad, because we're going to move on, because we're tired of being oppressed and suppressed, and we're going to rise to greatness.
Okay, there you go. Do us a favor and put a little information. I don't know if you're a member over at Friends of First Sky Omaha. It's a group on Facebook.
Okay.
If you could put some information in there on the date and time and the message, just put a little post up there, and so that people that can go back and reference that if need be, and we'll do the best we can to come out and support.
Okay, I appreciate that. I will see you tomorrow night then. If the Lord willing, the creek don't rise.
There you go.
I will see you in Omaha.
Okay,
Yes,
man.
sir. Thank
Appreciate
you.
it. Thanks for
sir.
coming on.
All right, thank you.
All right, have a good
Peace.
one. Thank you very much. Yeah, that was thanks for letting us slide that in there in the end there. That was definitely something that got brought to our attention, kind of breaking news style. So appreciate everybody who's behind that. And let's try to figure that out. Let's just figure out what we can do. Like I said, I got more questions, but I'm definitely down to see if we can keep this brother in on the situation, and so that we can get to some of them questions. And
Definitely
all
like what I
that.
heard.
Definitely. Appreciate that very much. And I'm looking forward to the names being named. So
Yeah, gotta find out. You know who's smiling? Smile in your face.
the backstabber.
Backstabbers.
Come on with it. What you know about
Yeah,
that
man.
young? What you know about
Come
that
on,
young?
man.
youngster?
Come on, man. You already know. You already know about me by now, man. Come on, man. But
Uh,
yeah,
we-
man, definitely interesting.
Yeah, whole lot of skin folk ain't you kin folk among black folks here in
Man.
Nebraska.
All I was thinking about was Tony Goins. Is maybe we should have kicked up a little more dust behind brother Tony Goins. You know, they discredited him, got him out of there quick.
We would have, except that he stepped down. He resigned quickly.
Man,
Resigned quickly. So if that's what he didn't come on the show and say, "Hey, fight for me tomorrow." He stepped down. So you got some of that too. So we'll we have to keep on having this discussion about our black leaders and situations that's going on here. So let's definitely keep doing that. Like I said, even if you got questions, like I got questions, still please show up. We need you all, like Gwen Easter was saying. Appreciate that very much that you guys will allow for that to happen. It is 9:02, so we're going to go ahead and get out of here.
yes, sir.
Past the agreement, but thank you very much for joining in, and keep the discussion going. Of course, you can do it here. I keep on seeing, sometimes we go back and we see that you've added more comments to the show.
Yep.
So always go back and check the show out. Definitely watching it in its entirety on Facebook or YouTube, and check out Facebook and YouTube, because there's comments on both. So definitely dig into the comments and check it out. And also we can continue the conversation over there on Friends of First Sky Omaha. And hopefully Brother Carter will put that information in Friends of First Sky Omaha too, so we can do our best and putting boost to the roots and kind of showing up for this if we can tomorrow. So yeah, let's please make it happen. We appreciate that very much. And like I said, Megan Miller Jenkins says big bills this week testify or send in testimony. Somebody said earlier about the bills, there was a lead that somebody had up here. Where was it? Somebody said that there was a show or organization or something that goes on Sunday that tells us about the bills of the week and gives us a good direction here. I can't find that in the chat right now, but whoever, if you still listening, whoever said that, put that in Friends of First Sky Omaha. I'd love to check that out to find out about what's going on with. Here it is. Megan Miller Jenkins says, just want to drop that tall Aaron on Twitter does a great job of releasing bills on Sunday that will be heard the following week. Easy thread to stay informed on. Okay. Appreciate that. So let's check out Tall Aaron on Twitter, and that'll give us a little bit of an idea. And of course, we'll talk to the senators next Monday too, so that we can definitely keep continuing to talk about that and have a plan of attack for the week when it comes to legislature. Legislature session is going to be a short one this time, so we really need to get in there
man.
and support and so on and so forth. So appreciate that very much.
Think just 60 days.
Yep. Stephen Abraham says, "You know who your allies is by the way the enemy paints you." Man, artists, what is what?
Artistic rendering.
I love it. Hashtag artistic rendering. That's beautiful. Appreciate that. Megan Miller Jenkins says no session on Friday, so definitely check it out and check out Tall Aaron. I'm definitely gonna do that on Twitter as well. In the meantime, between time, go ahead.
Brother Jahi Shabazz was asking place and time for meeting again before we get out of here.
Oh yeah. Let's see. Miss Eckerfeld posted that. Where was that at?
1313 Farnham at 5:30 tomorrow, I believe.
There you go. 1313 Farnham at the State Building, 5:30. Probably need to get there by the State Building is always hard for me to navigate. They barely tell you where anything's happening. So try to get there at 5 so you can navigate and be there by 5:30. If you can, definitely gonna try to make it myself. So we'll see what we can do on helping the situation out. But again, thanks for allowing us to slide him in and you know, let's do that. That's what we're here for. Boost to the roots. Let's put some people together and do the best that we can to get up there and spread that message. So thanks for the comments and the questions about his message and what would you like, you know, all those good things to find out here. We found out the what, where, and why on this, and appreciate it very much. Kimmer says RG and I have found myself saying that after negative experience with people I had expectations of. Talking about skin folk, ain't you kin folk sometime, I think.
Yep. A whole lot of not all skin folk or kin folk among us black folks here in Nebraska.
But you know, that's the same thing with white folks, man. And white folks, they don't even, sometimes they don't even be liking each other. They still know how to do business.
Yeah.
So we need to, you know, with us, I was just discussing this last night with Miss Celeste Butler, which I appreciated the conversation. With us, we need to have some trust between us in order to progress and do some things because our experience is different. We grew up a different way than people in white society grew up in certain instances, and with them, like I said, they don't got to like each other. They can be backstabbing each other. They still do business. They still do what they're gonna do. And sometimes people say we need to do that too. Turn the emotions off and get together and do what we got to do. I'm leaning towards this other idea that we got to trust who we're around. Our experience dictates that we trust the people that we're around, so we got to be more trustworthy, and we got to call each other out when we're not being trustworthy. We gonna have to do that in order for us to get together and progress. That's just my opinion. There could be other ways to do it, but that's where I'm at.
Man, I keep saying it. We all we got, and that's all we need, and that's enough.
Yeah.
So there you go.
So, appreciate everybody joining us, buddy. Got some words for the people. Let's get out of here.
Man, big thanks to our guests. Men's Monday, I guess. Brother Qasim, again, Senator Wayne. A brief appearance from Senator McKinney. Hopefully, he gets his phone situation together. But also a big shout out to Brother John Carter for joining us at the last minute. Appreciate you. Of course, he's been a chat chimer, so a part of the fam already. So definitely appreciate you. And appreciate all of you. Again, the chat chimers, the ghost listeners, first and last time listeners, we thank you. We love you. We appreciate you. Catch the same time, same place, Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, right here on First Sky Omaha in the morning. Paul B, take it away.
Right on, man. Appreciate everybody that's came in. Pop says 186 miles per second is the speed of light in the First Sky Morning Show. Love you all and see you on Wednesday. Appreciate you, Pops. Mayor Sanchez says, have a blessed week, everyone. Appreciate that very much. And also, Gwen Easter says, please show up. We need you all. So, again, I appreciate everybody that is listening to the show this morning that is inclined to go and speak up at this meeting tomorrow, 1313 Farnham, from 5 o'clock to 7 o'clock.
Yep.
To say Brother Carter as you know, to let them people know we want to choose who's on the African American Commission. Could we be the ones that choose that, please?
Man, I mean, it's always a question. They always say in the news, black leaders, and you know, like who y'all talking about? Who you really talking about?
For real. Gwenny says, thank you, Paul and Buddy, for letting John on the show in the last minute. No problem.
No problem. That's what we're here for.
Like I said, yeah, hit us up. It'd be best to hit us up on First Sky Omaha at gmail.com when you have those kinds of requests. And even better yet, you know, you've been to content creator school, go and write up a little piece that you can put on for Friends of First Sky Omaha about what's going on. You know, that we checked that and we have other people check that for us as well. We moved into that realm got somebody peeping out, Friends of First Sky, and letting us know what's relevant here. So definitely hit us up on that. And again, appreciate you and appreciate Brother Carter for coming on. And yeah, can't wait to see what comes of this. So
also to that point, pretty soon there will be space for these types of reports and news, us to send our own news on the new and improved First Sky Omaha website. So we're still working on that in the back end. We'll be done with that very, very soon. For those of you who are interested in beta testing, if you want to kind of get it early, we'll definitely love to get some feedback before we launch it. So if you are interested, you can hit me up at buddy@firstsky.omaha.com. Again, that's buddy@firstsky.omaha.com. And yeah, I'm looking out for your emails. We'll definitely have opportunities for you to beta test and kind of look through the new website soon. But yeah, there'll be opportunities to, as Sister Grenisha says, I will write something. It's a couple of y'all that we have in mind. We would love to see, produce some news and help us spread the word. That's what it's about.
Yep. With that, we're going to get out of here. I'd like to leave with the words that Brother Stephen Abraham said. You know who your allies is by the way the enemy paints you. Artistic rendering. Hashtag artistic rendering. Love it. Appreciate you very much. Thanks for joining us. Thanks for letting us stay past the agreed upon time. I think this is probably the latest we've ever stayed past.
A little bit.
Keep on breaking the record here. We will be at 3 hours by the time we get done with this show.
Man, look up. Just before we get out of here, can you drop my email in the chat for those who might need help spelling it?
Sure. Let's see. buddy@firstsky.omaha.com. Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah.
That's it.
Cool. Yep, there you go. Hit Buddy up, and I appreciate that. Miss Erica Fell says, I love the beta. Right on.
There you go.
Yep. Appreciate you very much. Thanks for joining us again. Shout out to the Umaha tribe elders for allowing us to be on this land and speak while we're here. Shout out to our elders for allowing us to speak before you, and shout out to you, the chat chimers, allowing us to speak with you. Can't do this without you. Thanks for everybody who had great questions, great comments today. I appreciate everybody that came in and stayed relevant with us on the conversation that we were having and added to it. That's how it works. That's how it works. Get on the same page. Appreciate it. We will see you on Wednesday. We do have some special guests coming in on Wednesday as well, so stay tuned for that. And some special guests coming in on Friday. Our roster is getting pretty booked, so appreciate that. And shout out to everybody who is wanting to come on the show for the reasons why we are here to talk about the issues that's going on in our neighborhoods and hear what you, the people, have to say about it.
Yeah, man.
This is for the people, by the people, we the people.
We the people.
It's going down. You guys have a good one. We'll see you Wednesday. Peace.
By the way, Vanglorious. This is protected by the red, the black, and the green.